Very spinning stuff. Stuff is very spinning. in that. Yep. I think you better study. You're not connected to it? Well, I'm on. You can connect to the Wi-Fi. No, you can connect to the Wi-Fi over here. Then it'll be on data. Stream. Wi-Fi. Offgate B2, but all caps. Offgate 1325. Yeah. Turn off your Bluetooth. Just turn off your Bluetooth. Turn off your Bluetooth. Just turn off your Bluetooth. Turn off your Bluetooth. Just turn off your Bluetooth.
Okay, well, there was a technical issue, of course. BBC Studios don't pay their staff enough, and unfortunately there was a few errors from our end, so we do apologize. Yes, Sammy K gives me the thumbs up, technical advisor. Thank you very much. I think I'm going to have to run through all of that spiel that I gave at the beginning that none of you heard, unfortunately. So here we go. What is it all about? This is the eBaTT League, eBaTT Adult League. It's run every 2 weeks. When I opened this club, I felt that local leagues didn't have the energy and passion to truly embrace our sport, and therefore I wanted local players to embrace and be a part of something a little bit more energized, which would allow them to not only be involved in a local league that caters for their level, but at the same time a league that caters for players aspiring to grow and become better players. So you're in a hall that has 4 divisions that caters for 4 different levels. Over here we have Division 4. Unfortunately, camera angle won't allow you to see it, but that is mainly aimed at players who are either just starting the sport and want to get involved competitively, or they have a little bit of experience but they don't have the skills or the ability to train often enough to compete at the higher end. So that's Division 4 we have down there. We have Division 3 right at the bottom, where that is aimed at players who play local league, maybe low local league kind of level, and they probably play once or twice a week at the club, and they want a little bit of local competition, and that caters for them. And as we move on to Division 2 over here, that's for players who county or national or even international players, and they can then move or see alongside them Division 1, which is down there, players who are of the higher divisions, local league, county level, national level, or even international level. So that enables everyone to be in the hall and potentially play against these players depending on whether they improve or whether they are not improving, because the format allows players to go from Division 1 to 2 to from 1 to 2 or 3 to 4 very quickly. Every week we have 6 players in the division, and every week 2 players go up, 2 players go down, and 2 players stay in the division. So it's a great format that allows players to play at their current form. If they're not playing so well, potentially they can go down a division. If they're playing well, potentially they can go up. And if they're playing to their so-called normal or to their divisional level, then they potentially will stay in that division. So let's move on to some technical table tennis on the table. Over here we have a very big match, believe it or not, where Benji has been in Division 1 every single week, but unfortunately dropped 2 weeks ago due to form. And Joe is mother of Benji's sparring partner, seen down there, Max Radovan. Is this Ellie? Yes, it is Ellie. Drive art and table tennis. So back to this match here. Joe is Max's mum. Benji obviously loves the sport and plays medium to high level local league table tennis, but Benji is one of our top juniors, and naturally he will be aiming to capitalize on the opportunity here and move straight back up to Division 1. Nevertheless, playing in the league has certain pressures. And ours in particular has extra pressure because it's seen by many players around. You know that you can potentially go up or down a division immediately. Furthermore, it's only best of 3. So the pressure is on you from the off, and you must do everything in your power to play your A game from the beginning. Otherwise, even if someone's below your level, they can capitalize and potentially beat you. So you can see Benji has started straight away with high quality, knowing that if he gives any ground to Joe, he can potentially feel the pressure and the game can sway the other way around. So he has decided to go all out guns blazing and do his best to get this match over and done with as soon as possible. Moving over to Division 1, down there we have Tony and Mike. Both players hover between Division 2 and 1. Well, to be fair, Tony's first time in Division 1. Mike often is Division 2, but has come up to Division 1 a few times. And they are both battling it out right now. You can feel the tension. They're both going for winners instead of trying to play sensibly, get that ball on, a little bit of spin, get the timing right, get the rhythm right, and then start hitting the ball hard. But they are both naturally a bit nervous, so therefore, psychologically, when someone enters into a so-called fighting mode, they feel they have to be extra aggressive. But the difference between true elite athletes or even the animal kingdom, the best hunters in the world, they time everything just right. They analyze the situation, and when the time is right, they pounce. But unlike trained animals, most players here are amateur, recreational, high local league, and therefore the experience of what to do inside pressurized situations plays its toll. Now here you can see, as mentioned, the match over here now. First game, as I said, Benji came out all guns blazing, but he's starting to feel the pressure now. Because once he starts to miss a couple of balls, the game turns around, and then you start questioning yourself. Am I going to miss another ball? Is this person going to hit the ball past me? And when those little niggling small questions come inside your mind, it's very hard to fight them off. And often we can lose matches that we should win or can win, or that we are genuinely better than those players. But our mind doesn't allow our body to perform the way it should. So let's have a look. So, what's happening now is Benji's trying to win quick and easy points, which he managed to do in the first game. But the pressure has taken its toll because he didn't start very well, and now the match is turning around. the question is, what should you do in these pressurized situations? Well, you have to talk to yourself in a positive manner. You have to try and figure out what's working, what's not working, and have different armory, different tools to allow you to stay in the game or try and win the game. So what do I mean by that? So as you saw, Benji's constantly trying to play in a certain way. Now, if it was me, I'd be looking for different types of shots, such as even a simple push, or different types of serves, different locations. And from there, I would look at what is working and then try and build on that. But often players, they have a certain game plan or a certain way they play, and they stick to that. And when it doesn't work, or it's not quite working, then they start to pressurize themselves, and everything seems like it's going wrong, unfortunately. Yeah, well, she's changed the serve now. She does have a very good push, which a lot of players struggle with, because what you don't see on the camera is the amount of spin that's on the ball. So a player has to deal with a lot of energy that's unseen, and therefore what is seemingly an unforced error is not necessarily an unforced error. It's often a forced error, where the player has produced a certain amount of spin which the opponent has misread, and therefore did not play the correct technical shot to get that ball on. Nevertheless, Benji seems to have found his timing again. He's gone a little bit less power and put a little bit more spin on the ball, arcing it. There you go, you can see he's gone a little bit less power, and therefore that goes exactly back to the tactics that I mentioned, where you've got to change something and try and see what works to enable you to potentially win matches that you feel you should win. So over here we have best of threes, hence the change of ends, but they should have changed ends at 5. Yes, best of 3, correct. As mentioned earlier, this is the league that I created with this format to create a few more shock results, a bit more pressure on players. Nice. And that's there you go, there's a clear sign of a little bit of maturity there from Benji, saying to himself, okay, look, I tried to hit the ball really hard in the second game, I was missing, she stole that match. I'm going to take a step back, try and spin the ball up a little bit more, like that, try and give it a bit more arc, find that happy equilibrium, which then allows me to increase my confidence. But so he's gone 8-0 up, but then, of course, often what we do is we start reverting back to confidence, and oh well, I'm okay now, and start crunching balls, and potentially missing a few, and then the game can turn around once again. Let's move over to table 2, where Division 1 has been played. Benji has capitalized on playing a safe game, but he will get a little bit of slack from the boys, that's for sure, because on paper he should be winning 2 straight, and Joe snuck a game. So yeah, sorry, moving back to Division 1, Mike, as mentioned, both players were crunching nice and early, trying to win points early, instead of trying to configure what should they do, what tactics should they use to win. But both of them have got their tactics right now. They both seem a bit more settled, both thinking, and Mike seems to have the slight edge at the moment. Nevertheless, as you can see, it's anyone's game still. Can I zoom in? Yes, I can. Nice side spin serve. So you'll find that quite often at lower divisions, like high local leagues or even local leagues. Long spinny serves have huge effects, but as you step up the level, players more often than not use short serves because good players are always looking to hunt the long serves, which enables them to put the opponent under pressure straight away. Just going to give the camera a little wipe. I hope it will help a bit. Hopefully that's a bit better. Okay, so we have another, apologies, I've got a bit of a sore throat. We have another Division 1 match about to jump on with Max, current England #1 under 15s, who recently has performed very, very well abroad. He reached the semi-finals of the under 15s category in Montenegro, where he beat the #1 seed in the quarterfinals. And a player who is the same age as him, age 14, last year was #1 in the world under 13s. So, as you can imagine, Max has a lot of potential. Oh, I apologize, my mistake. He is conducting himself as the official umpire. What a close match we have down at the bottom down there. It's currently 17-18. I find it quite fascinating when players reach these type of positions where it's 18-all at the moment. The reason I find it fascinating is because what it essentially means is one of two things. Either lack of concentration from both players or pure concentration from both players. Both utilizing, if it's concentration, they're both utilizing their serve to win the point. And if it's lack of concentration, which that's what it seems to be, 2018, he won that one, then it's often just, well, I'll win the next point. Oh no, I won't. Oh, I'll win the next one. Oh no, I won't. And they're both losing points continuously. And then, of course, you have the third element, which should be mentioned, is both have their tactics spot on, winning points, essentially on their serve, and they continue to do so until someone or something cracks or changes, or someone has adapted and found a solution. Many, many years back, when I was a young man, I remember one of my most famous matches I've ever played, which was a bit of a turning point in my junior career. I believe I was 16 or 17 years old. It was best of 3 back then, up to 21. And I had a match with a gentleman who I recently met up with. Oh my God, he killed me, I forgot his name. Oh, I feel bad. Anyway, we had a match, and this was to qualify into the national top 12 Masters, it's called back then. That match was for one of us to move into the top 12 category. And I won first, he won second, and then the marathon began. At 20-all, it was effectively serve for serve. I won my serve, he won his serve. I won mine, he won his. I won mine, he won his. All the way to 38-36. Although I remember him telling me it was 42-40, but in my mind it was 38-36, but I could be wrong, he could be right, or I could be right, he could be wrong. But either way, imagine that we played an extra, well, let's call it, well, we effectively doubled. If it was 42-40, then we effectively doubled the match, which is quite extraordinary. We played 20 points effectively, one serve each, and no one was giving way until somehow I don't even know how, but I managed to win that. And like I said, that was a big turning point in my junior career, where I felt there's always a way if you just continue fighting. And I reached a pinnacle point of playing in the Masters, which was top 12 England juniors. And considering I was never a cadet, I started when I was 14 and only played as a junior, it was quite a miraculous achievement for any young player to be inside the top 12 in England within 2 to 3 years of playing table tennis. But I put that down to a lot of dedication, hard work, commitment. Yes, some would say a bit of talent as well. But ultimately, it's the willingness to adapt and change and learn and enable yourself to grow. Often players put a lot of time and effort into their training, but they are restricting themselves from progressing because they don't self-analyze, or they feel what they're doing is right, or they think what they're doing is good, without clear perspective from both internally and external perspective. Let's move on to some matches. We've got a match over here. Martin down here. He is a bit of an all-rounder. He will lob the ball a lot. He likes to run away from the table. Reason for that is to give himself time. And that's where he feels comfortable. A lot of coaches will do their damnedest to stop any player from doing that. So I would imagine he wasn't truly coached. He just turned up at the club and played with his friends and players at the club, and slowly evolved his game to what he felt worked and what he felt comfortable doing. Now, it could be completely wrong. He may have had a coach who wanted him to play away from the table. So Daniel, who's umpiring, is not actually on his phone. He's putting the scoring system, because we have the scoring system which is digital. Some discrepancies down on table 1, division 1. It's the umpire's call. Umpire has the last call. There's a big rally there. Oh, the ceiling is not quite high enough for Martin. What a shot. So back to Martin's match over here. As mentioned, he likes to play an all-round game, goes away from the table, gives it a lot of spin, a lot of arc, tries to get the ball nice and deep. So when the player is attacking or smashing, they are smashing slightly further back, which gives him more time to retrieve the ball. You'll notice he'll do all these kind of wiggly type of strokes, now known as the snake by Adam Bobrow, and lobbing the ball up nice and high. Again, Adam Bobrow likes to do that. There you go, there's a snake done by Martin, which is done under the table with an after movement of the arm to disguise the point of contact, which can often be very difficult for the opponent to read. We have a young player, Josh, over here, well, youngish. He plays local league and has heard about our league and joined us for the first time 2 weeks ago. Originally from Italy, likes to attack with his forehand. I would say relatively defensive with his backhand. And there's, as mentioned, Martin. Opa! What a rally! Martin retrieving every ball he can, putting lots of pressure on Josh to capitalize on what he feels is an opportunity to win the point. But it's not as easy as you may think. When you get those so-called those balls that look easy, often we stress and panic, try to overhit or underhit, which causes unforced errors. He tightened up there. That's often a common theme when the match is tight. The arm becomes tight. You've got to try and use your forearm and your wrist to generate plenty of spin on the ball and control the ball. But there's tightness again. When you put your bat in the way and you lock your arm, the spin that's on the ball often takes charge. Ooh, that was close. Oh, there's plenty of nerves here, where both players are making seemingly easy unforced errors. Loads of spin on that. And as mentioned, panic shot. In his mind, it's an opportunity, but what will happen in that situation? The ball will arc up high, lots of spin, and you have lots of time, and that's when your brain starts to think, shall I drop shot it? Shall I side spin? Shall I smash it as hard as I can? Shall I smash it to the left, to the right? And then it gets the moment of when you need to hit the ball, and you panic, you smash, and you miss. Let's move back over to Division 1. So, Marek, originally from Poland. I used to coach both his boys, twins. Good match, unforced errors rule look like how I play. So, yeah, Marek originally from Poland. So what normally would happen? Marek is a very smart, very, very smart player. And what he will do, you may not have seen, but he lost the first game. But he will start to work out patterns of play. And then he will start to utilize his tools to enable him to find a way to win, which he has done that. So now at 1-1, as a betting man, I'll put my money on Marek. This is because what he'll do now is he'll start to calculate where he won points. I'm off for a while. We'll try to come back and see more. Cheers. No worries. I will upload this onto the official YouTube channel, so it can always be reviewed at another point. So moving back to Marek, he will have analyzed what works for him, and as I said, as a betting man, I would put my money on him to now not win easily, but to win this game, because he will have a game plan. Having said that, although I don't believe this is the case, Lin, if he's smart, he will also find what Marek has found and start to adapt. But my money has been put on Marek, and I'm sticking with that. Two completely different serves there by Marek. One was a topspin serve, and the second one was a heavy backspin, which was put in the net. What a shot. That takes exquisite timing to smash through the ball, especially when it's quite low, not too high over the net. You've got to have the right angle, and as mentioned, you've got to time it right to enable the ball to dip just at the right moment. Hence why 90% of players, attacking players, put topspin on the ball so they get the arc and they increase the safety and the consistency of their shots on the table. Down here, I'm expecting a 2-0 win by Benji, simply because he's a trained player. Daniel comes occasionally just to compete. He enjoys the competition. But Benji is a trained, seasonal player. You can see that by his strokes, by his composure, and by his skill level, which I'm confident he will fully expose in this match. Right, we have a tight match, and even though I mentioned that Marek will find some things that work, Lin is a very composed player, and now he's looking to attack in a much more aggressive manner, which will hopefully enable him to win this game. But I would imagine now Marek will stop giving him easy loose balls to attack, keep it a little bit tighter, or impose more his shots towards Lin's backhand. Let's have a look. There we go. As mentioned, he will start to capitalize his repertoire of shots towards Lin's backhand. Misread that spin, and that may shift the whole match in the direction of Lin, which would potentially make me, as the commentator, face the consequences of being wrong, which does happen about once a year. Nevertheless, this match is not over. But Lin has taken a very comfortable lead at 8-4. Zoom in on that a little bit so we can view that match. Benjamin. What is interesting, even though Marek, for me, is tactically much more aware than Lin and has used his tactics to bring the match to 1-1, Lin's aggression has overwhelmed Marek's armor at the moment. Nine six. Very well played by Lin. Being patient, defending. And that's what you really need to do as a defender. Just be a little bit patient, get those balls on, wait for your opponent to get impatient, try hit the ball too hard, or misread the amount of spin that's on the ball. Moving back to my original theory, where I believed Marek would win, didn't, didn't pan out. Nevertheless, maybe if it was the best of 5, it could have been different. I think there's not a lot of time for players to utilize their tactics. The longer the game goes, the more a tactician can utilize or introduce a certain tactic that works. But these short games, I must admit, will favor players who are aggressive and consistently aggressive. They will have the opportunity to probably win matches that maybe they shouldn't or wouldn't be able to in a longer match, such as a best of 5 or best of 7. And it was quite clear that Lin just stepped up his aggression. He found good timing. He was able to hit the ball hard and fast, and Marek couldn't contain that. And therefore, Lin won the match. I'm going to take a little break. I'll see you guys in the next 5 to 10 minutes. By the way, I want you to enjoy the match over here on table 1. Notice his serves. The amount of spin that he creates on the ball is not necessarily seen, but in terms of when he executes the serves, but it's clearly seen when the opponent receives the serve. Enjoy.
I knew it was there. Sorry.